Welcome back. You're still watching the Afia Morning Show. On top of the morning to you from any part you're joining us from in Africa. And of course, good evening if you're joining us from outside the globe at this point in time. My name is Nathalie Uku once again, and it is the 4th of August in Igbo culture. It is the Nkwo Market Day. Now, according to the legend, it is a day of rest, of reflection, focusing on family bonding and for personal growth. So I think this Monday resonates a new meaning, and we should start to try to imbibe this. Today is a day of family bonding, of reflection, and of course, we're told, according to Igbo culture, that we should avoid major decisions or meetings, also avoid traditional ceremonies, and avoid community assemblies as well. It's a day of no pressure, no rush, relax, reflect, and bond. Oji Wachuku is here this morning as well. Oji, good morning. How'd you do?
I'm great. Good morning. It's great hearing you reel all that out, because people still actually adhere to this, our culture. The market days right here. It's not the first time I'm hearing about Nkwo is a day you have to sit back, reflect, and not bury. Is a time you take out to go through your mind and relax with family. Just a bonding. Nkwo is like a bonding time for when it comes to the market days in Igbo land, right? And it's great that, yes, I'll bring this back, because stroking it back is very important for people who don't know. I tell you, so many people don't even know these things you just read off right now, for real.
Yes, so it's a taboo for you to go and conduct any traditional ceremonies. It's also a taboo to make important decisions today. Also a big taboo to attend community assemblies and, don't hold any meetings. So if your boss has called for a meeting at work today and you attend, you are breaking the law on this Nkwo Market Day in Igbo land. Of course, we're not here alone. Dr. Fyneface Dumnamene Fyneface, Executive Director of Youth and Environmental Advocacy Center, joins us all the way from Rivers this morning. Dr. Fyneface, good morning. I hope you can hear us.
Good morning to you, and good morning. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, your network is a little bit shaky. Your network's a little shaky, so I guess you may try to resolve that.
Good morning, my brother.
Enjoying the fourth discussion of Market Day discussion.
Yeah.
Nkwo Market Day. Nkwo Market Day, yes.
Throughout the night now in River State. Yeah. And I think it's a very wonderful day in the Igbo calendar. Well, we key into it. Why the day is asking the Igbo people and all of us, of course, to rest more, because it is a day you are not to do anything. I don't know, it's a Monday this week, and you have to rest Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Well, that means we are really giving opportunity to rest, but we are working all day.
Exactly. And this is no way a visa for you to sit at home. In case people are now seeing it as a free visa to sit at home, or not endorsing that in any way. So please, wherever you are, even if you're at work and you're typing, just try to be reflecting. Try to do that, then miss the meeting your boss is calling you for as well. Because and then when you answer the query, you can also explain why. And I attach Afia TV's calendar. You can blame us, don't worry. Let's take a look at headlines this morning, beginning with The Nation. And the top story here: federal government's 712 billion naira upgrade will turn MMA1 into world class. On Daily Trust, Rumpus over 712 billion naira Lagos Airport renovation contract. Amount outrageous, according to experts. ADC demands suspension. Federal government defense project says funding from subsidy savings. IPI NGE others slam Niger governor over order on radio station. Flood destroys houses, schools, farms in Plateau, Bauchi, and Niger. Bandits raid 16 Zamfara villages, kill 5, abduct many. Uncertainty over Bayo Ojulari's job as NNPCL boss. Oyetola vows sweeping reforms and end boat mishaps as committee submits report. I'll take that again. Oyetola vows sweeping reforms to end boat mishaps as committee submits report. And moving on now we'll start with the Nigerian Tribune. Experts question FEC's approval of 712 billion naira for airport upgrade. Renovation, wasteful, misplaced priority, according to ADC. It's strategic investment in nation's aviation infrastructure, according to the Minister for Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, says Lagos terminal rebuilding to be funded with subsidy removal gains. Northern marginalization, substantiate your allegation. MBF challenges ACF Northern elite. My vow to serve one term remains sacrosanct, according to Obi. Says purposeful leadership doesn't require eternity to deliver. Of course, this is in response to the remark made by the Anambra State Governor, Chukwuma Charles Soludo, who was not directly referring to anyone, but many believe he was referring to the former LP candidate. 2027 Tinubu'S loyalists regroup, revive structures. IPI demands immediate reopening of short radio station in Niger. NDLEA intercepts cocaine, tramadol consignments in vehicles, side mirrors at Lagos Airport. By-elections, SDP kicks against rejection of candidates. Find a job to do ahead of 2027. APC tells El Rufai. Your utterances distracting Tinubu, according to party. On The Guardian, slow digital integration rivalry mar NSW's odds ahead of Q1 takeoff. PDP leaders split on Jonathan Obi for 2027 presidential candidacy. Again, Nigeria rules Africa as the Tigress clinch 5th Afro-Basket crown. Anglicans kick as England elects lesbian ban as Archbishop. NUC worries over professional bodies overreach, seeks harmonized accreditation system. NMA raises alarm over unsafe doctors' quarters at Lagos Hospital 2 years after elevator incident. And on The Punch, 2027 tensions, APC kingmakers scramble to quell state-level uprisings. Fuel imports surge to 71% as marketers ditch local refineries. 2027, Obi's one-term presidency gambit sparks political firestorm. And also here, 220 oil blocks abandoned amid debt crude crisis. Striking doctors cripple low-tech hospital operations. And a rider here, still on the major story, factions, legal battles, grip party strongholds. Party upbeat over crisis in Lagos, Rivers, Benue, Bayelsa, others.
Starting from Nigerian News Direct, North in turmoil over Tinubu'S 2027 bid as endorsement drive deepens. Bajabiamila's Northern dialogue triggers elites realignment ahead of 2027. Critics slam Kaduna meeting as political theater amid rising insecurity. Ex-lawmakers Kwankwaso stoke Northern discontent. 20.5 billion naira fake drugs, unwholesome food seized at One Port. Coalition discord deepens as ADC power struggle threatens 2027 opposition bid. NDLEA boss drug syndicate smuggling cocaine tramadol inside vehicle mirrors at Lagos Airport. FG ADC orders lock horns over 712 billion naira Lagos Airport renovation. Kiamo defense court says projects misunderstood by critics. Call grows for forensic audit, full disclosure of contractors' contract terms. 48 months enough for any leader who is ready to make meaningful difference, says Obi. Moving over to Daily Global. Presidency and NPC's silence on Ojulari's alleged acid fuels tension in oil sector. Wike's ex-chairman re-emerge as candidates for Rivers LG polls. Obebolo opposition will collapse in Edo before 2027. Tinubu'S re-election. Northern lawmakers splits after presidency meeting. The Tigress beats Mali to win 5th Afro-Basket women title. WAES 2025 Nigeria Benin fine-tuned framework for economic cooperation. Lastly, 712 billion naira Lagos Airport upgrade misplaced priority, says ADC. Lastly, the Vanguard. Silent killer. Soaring drug cost ignorance fueling hypertension deaths. Ojulari's alleged exits, presidency, and NPCL's silence heightens confusion. Obitu Soludo, my one-term, 4-year vow sacrosanct. We are not borrowing for 712.3 billion naira Lagos Airports project, says Keyamo. No zone enough marginalized by Tinubu says Kaduna governor. Unprecedented windfall as stock investors gain 25.7 trillion naira in 7 months. Domestic investors eclipse foreign counterparts. Experts call for caution as price correction looms. Fyneface to Southwest governors. Leverage on UN recognition to equip Amotokun. And lastly, killings. Benue leaders seek EU, UK, US intervention.
All right. Thank you, Oji, for those headlines. I mean, so many interesting stories. I think we'll start from the news that cascaded down all through the weekend. Dr. Fyneface, Nigerian Tribune, the top story, experts question FEC's approval of 712 billion naira for airport upgrade. You're seeing the federal government there also defending the sum, saying that this sum was provided by the savings from the removal of the fuel subsidy. So you have two sides of this. Experts think it's excessive. Others, of course, the federal government trying to defend its stance on the source of the funds for the airport upgrade. Lots of criticisms too about the project as a whole. Dr. Fyneface, what's your stand on this money for the Lagos airport upgrade?
Billion naira that is to be expended on the upgrade of the airport is not necessary, because at the end of the day you are not going to see anything significant different from what we currently have. It is all about bringing down what we currently have and putting in place new, relatively state-of-the-art facility that does not in any way expand the airport. I have been to many top airports around the world. I will compare Nigeria to one of the airports of its colonial master in Great Britain, the Heathrow Airport. If you get to the Heathrow Airport, you will see that you can walk for 1 hour within the airport terminal. You've not gotten to the end. The airport is so large, so expanded with state-of-the-art facilities. Anything you can find, you will see it in Heathrow Airport. But in Nigeria, the Lagos International Airport, the Niger International Airport in Lagos, and of course the domestic wing, MM1, all of them, they don't have spaces. They don't have spaces. If they were telling us that they are going to build a fresh airport altogether, that we have space, will be deeper, we create even hospitality within the facility, it will be okay. But if you look at the international airports, what we currently have is very narrow, very shallow, and you do not have any deep expanded area as you can compare it to airports in other parts of the world. So I think that this money is just going to be a waste. What we currently have is sufficient for them to just renovate it and use that money to build a new standard international airport in another city in Nigeria, where people can now begin to use and see it to be very, very modern. But spending the money to bring what we currently have and set up a new facility is just a way of wasting the resources they claim to have saved from subsidy. So subsidy removal. So I think it's just a waste of resources for me.
It's even awesome that that conversation is coming to the front burner. At least first time we are hearing, oh, they're using money for subsidy to do something, right? It trickles my mind when I heard it. But let me ask you this question. Is it not better they are revamping than building a new airport, which is going to cost more? Go ahead.
I think it's better we just build a new airport. If we want to have a state-of-the-art airport, like they are claiming they want to achieve with the 712 billion, then we should build a brand new airport. The federal government should choose a new city in Nigeria, or they want to have a second airport in Lagos or Abuja, a fresh airport from scratch. That is where they can get it right. But if they want to renovate what we currently have, then it's absolutely waste of resources, because I don't see anything significantally different from what we currently have.
Dr. Fyneface, you emphasize a lot about size of the airport, comparing what we have at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport to Heathrow Airport. You emphasize a lot on how it's not possible to upgrade it to international standards because of the size of Heathrow compared to what we have there at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. Is it as much of a size problem as it is a cleanliness and organization problem?
If it is cleanliness and organization problem, we don't need to spend that kind of money. We just need to renovate, repackage what we currently have. And if we are to renovate to make it clean, to make it look better, it is for us to renovate what we currently have on the ground, and that shouldn't cost 712 billion. But if we are to build and have a standard airport that is world class, like the federal government is saying, then we need a new space to set up something new. We do not have land at the Lagos International Airport to build anything that will be too fundamentally different from what we currently have on the ground. If you check the domestic wing, and I don't think that is their target is the international wing, we don't have that land space to do that kind of project. So they can renovate what we currently have, make it to be world class, arrange it well without bringing down that structure, because even when they bring down that structure to put up something new, we are not going to have anything fundamentally different, because the space, the land space is not there for us to be able to do anything that will be close to what we have in other countries of the world.
Beyond the land, Dr. Fyneface, is it as much a land problem? I would like to reiterate that question, a land problem or a problem with the facilities? Because if you have an airport that is sizable with better facilities, would it not be better than what we have? Now, just a caveat, I'm not trying to talk about the money as a whole. I'm talking about the problem with the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. Is it a facility problem? Because if we just say that, oh, a new project should be started altogether and this one abandoned because of the size, is that enough of a justification as opposed to revamping and rehabilitating, totally overhauling the facilities at the airport, which are in need of a total overhaul?
Yes, I agree that if we can overhaul what we currently have on the ground, make some changes, change some infrastructure we have there, put it properly, which is a kind of renovation.
When you say put it properly, can you describe how you put it properly?
Yeah, put it properly that if you get to those airports, you get to that airport, let me look and focus on international airports in Lagos. The ACs are hardly working in some places. There is no Wi-Fi infrastructure in that facility. A lot of environments there are not as expected of an international airport that is the face of Nigeria. So a lot of things within the airport are not working properly. So they can upgrade what we have on the ground, make it to be fine. But that shouldn't cost 712 billion. But if they want to really spend the 712 billion, then I think we need a fresh airport, that we have space, have a lot of markets within the area and commercial activities that people can really embrace. And that way it will look like what we have in other parts of the world as international airports.
Okay, this airport is one of the busiest in the country. Like you see so many faces, international individuals coming into Nigeria from that airport. Don't you think this is timely, right, for us to revamp that airport just for our national integrity? Because if you go to that airport, almost everything is rotting away. The infrastructure is decaying and all that. Don't you think this call is timely to revamp that airport, knowing fully well that it's one of the busiest, and almost everybody coming to Nigeria is coming through Lagos?
I don't think it's timely for them to revamp the airport at this point in time, because this money is in the coffers of the government from the fuel subsidy removal gains. And if that is the case, it shouldn't be spent on an elitist project. It should be spent on a project that other Nigerians will benefit from as a result of the pains they have suffered following the subsidy removal. But now that so much money, 712 billion, is being spent on an elitist project, it is not a timely project at all. And if you look at the current administration, we are already getting to the end of 2025. The current administration has less than 2 years in office in its first tenure. And the project may not even be completed with this administration. But this is part of what they want to use as a electioneering campaign in 2027. That is why they are pulling this so much resources into the renovation of airport that will not benefit the ordinary Nigerians. And at the end of the day, we have not seen any robust public procurement process that brings about competition, people bidding for the projects and getting to have the best hands that we handle it. We've not seen that in the public domain. If others have seen, I have not seen it. So I think it is not the best thing to do at this point in time to put this so much resources into the renovation of airport that they can just spend a little money to upgrade and put it to the better standard compared to what we have. And that will require them to carry out some form of assessment, a survey at the airport, talk with passengers, talk with workers there, what are the things we need in place. Then they come up with a report, a baseline report that they will add to their own idea and what they have planned, and then be able to renovate the airport, upgrade it to something better. But I think they have not really done well by trying to do this project at this point in time. This is not what Nigerians want. Nigerians want where the money from subsidy removal will be spent to ameliorate and reduce the suffering they are passing through as a result of fuel subsidy removal in Nigeria.
I mean, so many projects going on at the same time, right? We're still looking at the refineries, hoping for when they're going to be working. Now we're looking at the airport, we're looking at Lagos-Calabar coastal highway that has seen many beaches in Lagos being sand-filled to the dismay of lots of tourists like myself. But let's take a look at others. Nigerian Tribune, my vow to serve one term sacrosanct. Former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has responded to Governor Chukwuma Soludo's remarks at a recent rally where he said that anybody who is promising to serve a single term when the Constitution allows for 2 terms should go and avail himself for psychiatric evaluation. What's your reaction to Peter Obi's response, saying that his single term is sacrosanct?
Yeah, Natalie, when I read what our professor Charles Soludo, executive governor of Anambra State, said about Peter Obi seeking and should seek, psychiatric evaluation for wanting to do one time, I'm just very surprised that such a comment can come from the governor of Anambra State, which is the home state of Peter Obi, because it is always said that to a very large extent, a king is not known in his own town. Now, Peter Obi determination and stating that he's going to go for a single term is what everybody expects him to do, because as we speak, the presidency is zoned to the south. What Peter Obi is going for is asking Nigerians to give him the votes, let him complete the tenure of the south by taking 4 years out of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that is trying to go for 8 years. And when he completes that tenure, power will return to the north. How do you expect someone that knows that in 2031, power is going to return to the north to clamor for 8 years in office? So I think the outburst of the governor of Anambra State saying that anybody clamoring for single tenure should go for psychiatric evaluation is out of line, uncalled for, and unnecessary. And I'm calling on Governor Professor Charles Soludo, Chukwuma Soludo, to apologize for that very comment, because he does not understand political permutations.
The question now, Dr. Fyneface, is some people would say that who is he going to apologize to, because he was very careful not to mention anyone's name, thereby stirring confusion. Some people think he's referring to Peter Obi, others think he's referring to the APC candidate in the governorship election, Nicholas Ukachukwu. So who exactly would he be apologizing to when no name was explicitly mentioned?
I think he should apologize to Nigerians and apologize to every other person who has at any point in time mentioned that they were going to do a single tenure, even if the Constitution allows for 2 tenure. Because when the Constitution allows for 2 tenure and you are going for single tenure, it is clear that you understand the gentleman agreement that exists within the Nigerian political space. Peter Obi has made that comment. Right Honorable Chibike Rotimi Amechi has made that comment of single term, and then you have the governorship aspirant who have also made that comment. But I think Soludo is clearly talking about the presidency, because that is what every Nigerian is focused on. Because if the head is better, the body will be better. If the head is rotten, the body will be rotting faster. So that is why I think that you should apologize to Nigerians for even saying that anybody talking about single term should go for psychiatric evaluation. Remember in 2015, former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan lost the presidency. Why did he lose the presidency? Because in 2011, after the death of Yar'Adua, it was agreed as a gentleman agreement that he was going to do a single term, and he accepted with them in-house. But when he came to want to extend his tenure to go for second tenure, he was voted out, he was removed by the powers that be within the system. So Peter Obi, understanding that political permutation, and I've come forward to say he is going to do a single tenure. And that is why we are also supporting him for, if he wants to go for single term, because that is the way to go at this point in time, because we have asked every political party in Nigeria to field certain candidates in 2027, because power is still in the south. Then in 2031, we don't expect even any southerner to run against the north, because it is their turn to go. We don't have this in the constitution, but it is the agreement that has been going on, and it has been helping Nigeria to be calm and support each other to produce the president of the Republic of Nigeria.
Okay, let's just take it that maybe it's Peter Obi that is in question, in content here, right? That he's referring to. But I will ask this question. Governor Soludo has been making so many utterances, right? Yeah, saying so many things, which always backfires. Get us in digital media, people will say a lot of things, regarding to the utterances he makes. Come 2025 November this year is Anambra State election. All these utterances he's making, is he politically correct, or he's being guided by the principles of governance? And will this make or mar his election this November?
Yeah, definitely some of the comments of this nature coming from Soludo may not strongly, affect his re-election, come November or thereabout. The reason being that Anambra State has tried its best to ensure that even if they support other political parties across the country for other positions, that they will retain, support, and ensure the continuity of the legacy of Odumegwu Ojukwu by ensuring that Anambra State continues to, have ABGA as its political party in memory of Odumegwu Ojukwu. That is what is happening. So no matter what he says and how he tries to allegedly embarrass himself by some of these comments, the Ndi Anambra will still continue to support ABGA. And it is difficult for them to change their candidate at this point in time. So they are going to continue to support ABGA to make sure that that legacy of Odumegwu Ojukwu Ikemba remains in place. So that is why no matter some of these comments, he may lose some votes, but he will still win the election. Not because he actually merited to be there after making comment like this against his fellow Igbo brothers, but because they just want to ensure that ABGA continues to remain as the legacy party in Anambra State.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Fyneface, for joining us this morning and for your insightful analysis. We'll continue to see how this all plays out as the week progresses. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me on the program.
All right. We're going on a quick break now. When the morning show returns, we'll be crossing over to Elijah Akuma, Afia TV correspondent, who has finally returned following his wedding ceremony. And he'll be bringing us insights from the Lion's Den UNN campus on the new VC, and of course inside information as to what the temperature is like following this victory for the University of Nigeria and Nsukka. The morning show returns in just seconds. Stay tuned.